Galaxy of Rudiments, warm-up routine 1, single strokes and flams. Now you've learned how to play a single stroke roll and a flam, we're going to use them both in the first combined warm-up routine that you can practice every day to develop your technique. Like any new piece of music, break it down and learn it phrase by phrase. As I go through each phrase, I suggest that you pause the video to allow yourself to play the phrase a few times until it starts to sink in before you move on to the next phrase. Bar 1, a single stroke roll, stopping with a quarter note on beat 4. Begin this phrase with your dominant hand, so your right hand if you play right-handedly. Bar 2, flams, all played with your dominant hand as the accented hand. Bar 3 is the same as bar 1, so we can skip over that one. And then bar 4 is the same rhythmically as bar 2, but pay attention to the sticking as we're now going to lead with our weaker hand, which will be your left hand if you play right-handedly. Now you can play all 4 bars. Play through bars 1 and 2 without stopping. Do this a few times, and then play through bars 3 and 4, which are rhythmically the same, but your weak hand will lead for the flams. Although we're going to focus on keeping our dominant hand leading for the single stroke rolls, it's very important that you learn to flam properly with either hand leading. Once you can play each half of the piece, put the whole thing together and play it right through a few times. But I'd advise against looping it at first. Each time you play it, give yourself enough time to take a breath and listen back in your memory. Were the rhythm and the dynamics even? Was the spacing of the flams clear? Before you play the piece again, imagine how you want it to sound. After you've played through the piece a few times like this, then do try playing it on a loop with a metronome, and as you play it, continue to evaluate how it sounds and the movements that you're using to make that sound. The purpose of all these technical exercises is that they provide a vehicle for us to develop good physical habits to play music, so maintain an awareness of your body as well as the music. Avoid playing mechanically on total autopilot. Don't forget to experiment with different dynamic levels and vary the tempo setting if you feel stuck in a rut. Try slower tempos as well as faster ones. Often our goal when practicing technique is to play things faster and louder, but sometimes we learn more control by slowing things down below the level of most music that we ever perform. The metronome marking for each exercise is a guide for the tempo range that you should be able to play it at, but it may take a few years of practice to get to the top end, so have some patience. Once you've practiced this warm-up for a week or so, move on with the next rudimental lesson and come back to this exercise as a refresher every few days.